Here is the biggest piece of advice that I have when we're looking at anything with your marketing. This is not even just website specific, but looking at the actual copy of how you're engaging with clients. This is the biggest piece of advice, and it boils down to, again, psychology and getting in the head of the people that you're working with so that you can solve their problems. I tell my team this all the time. If there's one skill that you should go and learn right now, regardless of if you're a developer, a designer, a marketer, content writer, salesperson, doesn't matter. If you can get really good, or even just a little good at writing sales copy, you will be so much more successful because it is such a skill that can be utilized in so many different ways. It will provide an immense amount of value to you in your career and in your growth. And so what I want you to do is to think about sales copy and to think about different sales copy frameworks. Do not go through and wireframe your website based off of what other people have done and based off of your existing website and just say, oh, it would be cool to add some stuff here about this. Yeah, it might be cool, but is it what's necessary? Is it going to help get people to take the next step? Might not. So we have to really, really think about that. So number one, we have to focus on sales copy. Number two, learn sales copy frameworks. Okay. Frameworks are, there's a ton of them. If you just Google sales copy frameworks, you're going to find tons of blogs and tons of different options out there. You're going to find courses. There's all kinds of stuff that you can dive into with that. There's a handful that we'll go over in just a second. But those frameworks are going to be so impactful, and it's a simple step-by-step, do this, 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 and this, and you're going to have a nice, compelling sales page. And then the last piece would be don't get lost in product-focused content. I think a lot of us, we've talked about this in the past, but a lot of us get stuck in talking about ourselves, talking about our products, talking about our services, talking about the company. We don't actually talk about the problems that it's solving the most. And so people have issues, people have issues, people struggle with different things. We want to talk about those, kind of twist the knife a little bit, and then we want to present a solution for them. Okay, so that's my advice. Sales copy, learn it, do it. Don't care what your job is. Don't care what career you have. Don't care how long you've been doing it. Sales copy is where you need to go spend some time. So what are some examples of sales copy? Okay, there's 5 that I'm going to talk about really quick, and I'll give you a quick high-level overview, and then we're going to go into just a brief example of using this for a website. So number 1, we have the PAS or PAIS. All right, this copy framework is my personal favorite. I use this all the time. Okay, you will find this embedded in any website that I have a hand in creating or impacting in any way. And all of the landing pages that I develop are using this formula. And the reason it's so impactful is because it's literally telling a story, and it's kind of going through the things that I had just mentioned. And so you could take this and look at it from, these are individual paragraphs, or these are different sections of a page, or these are like the topics of a video. It doesn't really matter. And what this stands for is P is pain or problem. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the pain that you have or the problem that you have right now, and I'm probably going to do it in more of a story format. A really great example of this that I've done via email is like literally telling the story of a sales call that I had. And so my email might start out with like, John, I just can't figure out why my website's not converting. We get tons of traffic and no one's converting on the website. And then I might caption on the side and just say, that's how a conversation that we had the other day started with a sales prospect. And that might be my initial piece of my email. Now, what I just did was describe a pain that I know just about all the people who are reading that email are feeling, right? So I'm talking about the problem. I'm talking about the pain. The very next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to agitate that pain. And I'm going to try and make it uncomfortable for them so that they're like, yes, I have that pain. Oh my gosh, yes, it also makes me feel like this. And so you're going to agitate that pain and say, like the next piece of that conversation or that email might have been, we are running up at the end of quarter 4 and my sales are down drastically. Our calls are down drastically. And now I'm starting to get concerned about my cash flow and paying my staff. boom, I just twisted the knife. I know everybody who is reading that email because I have a very tailored audience that I'm sending that kind of an email to. I know they're probably either in that situation or they felt that situation. So I've pushed on a pain and I've agitated that pain to the point where it's like, ooh, cringe. Yes, I feel that way too. Okay. And then if you want to, you can then add an invalidation. And that's what the I is. It's invalidating the competitors or invalidating what they're probably trying. Okay. And so this is going to say, like, if it was the next piece of that same email, I might say something like, I've tried hiring other salespeople. I've tried a bunch of ads. I've tried ramping up our SEO, and just nothing seems to be working. So what I've just done was I invalidated the things that everybody might naturally think are the next natural progression. Okay. And then the last piece of this, S, is solve or solution. I'm providing a solution. Okay. And then I'm going to say, so here's how I instructed that client of what they should do. Number 1, they should go like this. Number 2, they should do this. Number 3, this. So I literally just gave step by step into the solution. And that's using it in an email format. You could do that same exact concept in a landing page, on any kind of homepage or sales page, and so on. But that is a great example of how to move people through sales copy frameworks. Next, before, after, bridge. So what this is doing is saying, like, we're painting the picture of where someone is at before, or their current state. We're painting the picture then of where they want to be, or what the after state is. And then we're going to talk about the bridge of how to cross that, of going from A to B. And that would be something similar to, talking about a product maybe, or a use case of using this specific product. Could be a value proposition as well. Number 3 is hook, story, offer. This one is really popularized by Russell Brunson and a lot of his different books and his content out there. I absolutely love it. If you haven't read .com Secrets, definitely go take a look at it. Hook, story, offer is about getting somebody to, you're capturing their attention by a hook. You're making a big, bold statement. It's compelling. It catches them off guard. In fact, it's so attention grabbing that it stops them from scrolling. This is a great example of how to use hook, story, offers, using them on ads. Scrolling through Facebook ads and you see this super jumping out at you statement. It's going to stop you from just scrolling through and looking at your best friend's kids who you don't talk to anymore. And then you see this hook that jumps out and like, oh, interesting. I'm curious about that. You click on it. There's a story, and the story could just be the compelling, maybe it's the PAS formula. And then it's the offer, which is buy this or do this or take this action. Then we have the 5 objections. This is written in a lot of different ways. But these are answering like the 5 key questions that people are going to have. These are the natural objections that people have before they buy anything. So whether you realize it or not, you actually go through